And we live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, WatchYoMouthReviews. This is your boy James, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It ain't gonna happen, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host, Mrs. Best. I'll say what's up to her.
What's poppin', everybody? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please, guys, subscribe to both channels. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover it on Mrs. Best channel. We do a couple shows collaboratively on her channel as well. As well, she does a lot of shows on her own. Great content. You guys should go to her channel, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to tell James sent you. So, we're gonna talk about Next Gen NYC. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like how they edit this show. I'm not a fan of this. This may be my last season doing this show because the edits, they are all over the place with this. So I'm not going to go scene by scene. I'm just going to talk about the people who were in the episode who actually has scenes. So I won't be talking about Rowan, even though I know she was in some of the scenes. And I won't be talking about, who was it? Gia. So with Rowan and Gia, I'm not going to speak on them unless they had a particular moment in the scene that made sense. And I'll talk about the last scene at the end. That's how we'll do this because, yeah, I can't keep up with my notes are all over the place for this show. So I'm going to start it off with Shy. So Shy is letting us know his background, which actually makes sense on his first season because he came in at the end of the show. So Shy used to work for a corporate art company, and when they found out he was going to do reality TV show on the Bravo network, they decided to let him go because they didn't want the show or the name of the network to compromise anything that this business has going on. So pretty much he has a either non-compete non-compete agreement or something to that extent that he signed that would have gave the grounds to go ahead and terminate him. And I'm gonna say allegedly, but that's what it sounded like to me. So Shy is still trying to get in touch with both Ava and Brooks. He's really upset that they have not responded back to him, which a lot of people felt like Brooks and Ava were being extremely rude. Now, I agree with you guys. I do think that they were being rude by not at least sending them a hey or, I can't talk right now or I'm busy. I do believe they should have said something to that extent. Now, what he's asking for, I understand Brooks, I understand Ava because they are in the industry. There is protocols. Now, could they do him a small little solid favor? Sure. I don't think that that violates their contracts with their modeling agencies, but at the same time, you know, I understand that there may be, some conflict there. So I kind of 50-50 split with them. I understand Brooks, I understand Ava, but at the same time, I feel like, well, you just let your agent know you're just doing a friend a favor. It's not for compensation. You're on the same show. We're all helping each other. Maybe you could word it like that for both of your agents, and maybe they'll understand more so. But he has the conversations with Brooks over the phone, and Brooks is giving him a lot of attitude and was like, hey, I'm sorry. I had my own business to take care of. I couldn't really make your phone call. And Shy was like, well, that's fine, but I thought something may have been wrong. So that's why I was reaching out. Sorry to send you so many text messages and phone calls. I just was genuinely concerned. And he goes, yeah, and about that, you need to talk to my agent because I can't just, do work for free for you and everything. And Shy's like, but you're my friend. Like, I don't feel like I should talk to your agent. You're doing this as a favor to me. And Brooks is like, yeah, but like, it has to go through that. And then furthermore, he's saying, furthermore, that whole thing with Ariana, I just want to let you know, I was not feeling that at all. You were telling me that, she looks hot and beautiful, but you won't cross the lines with Hudson. It just was very strange. And I'm just like, Brooks, you have no reason to be mad at Shy. This is stupid. And the fact that you are carrying on as if that in any way, shape, or form had to do with you was really ridiculous and stupid. That had nothing to do with you. And if he said it, oh well. Him and Hudson may be friends on this show, but they're not friends in real life. And if he wanted to talk to Ariana, I felt like there's no difference between him and Liam to me. There's no difference. Yes, he's entertaining Hudson in his face, but they're not really friends. They're on the show together. So if she finds somebody else interesting, that's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with you. But that was pretty much, Shy's scene with Brooks. Mrs. Best, before I move on to his scene with Riley, um, how did you feel about that conversation with Brooks and Shy? Did you feel like Brooks had a point, or do you feel like Brooks was being eagerly annoying like I did?
I pretty much felt the same as you. I'm genuinely not trying to be short. Um, Brooks annoyed me. That's about it. I don't know what it is about this kid, but I don't feel like he cares, and I feel like he's trying to care so he can remain relevant on the show. But I just don't see Brooks in reality TV. It's gonna be hard for me. Eh,
No, and I totally
With
get it.
somebody as messy as Shy, I need more than what Brooks gave.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, later on in the episode, before they go to Vegas, Shia meets up with Riley and, just pretty much tells her, he doesn't know why everyone's kind of giving him the cold shoulder, especially Brooks, because that conversation about Ariana was nothing. I was just giving a compliment. He said that Ariana's cute. He said, hell, even Brooks is cute. So, I mean, it's just a simple comment. But like Ariana said, yeah, but there's underlying intention with what you're saying. And I think that that's what you're not getting. It's not so much that you think she's cute or anything, that there's an underlying intention that you said that if Hudson wasn't your boy, you would try to talk to her. And that's what probably he's thinking about in the moment. And when Riley said that, I was like, but that's stupid. Because at the end of the day, Brooks and Hudson are not friends. And if Ariana happened to be interested, which she's not, but if she happens to be interested, that's not up to Brooks to then draw up a wall with him when in reality, Shy has done nothing to Brooks. So that right there was crazy. But Ariana said, listen, don't take this whole situation as everyone is being your friend. Just, everyone just may just be your associates. I have friends on the show, but you have associates. And I was looking at Riley like, why would you even say that? Even if it was true, you guys, like, let's be real. Riley may be 100% correct in this situation, but the way she smirked and it was like she was tickled with pink. Like, oh my gosh, there's somebody who is an outsider just like me. Like, yes. And it's like, Riley, that wasn't for you to say or do. I felt like to me, that was taking a team too much. Like, it really was. How did you feel about his conversation with Riley? And do you think she helped the situation or do you think she probably hurt the situation with him getting to everybody else?
I I don't have many comments on this scene either. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's
Um,
okay. We can move on. I'm gonna move on to the
Next Gen,
comments.
I'm sorry. Next Gen is just, I don't know if it's the editing.
It
It
was the
felt all
editing.
over the place. Like everything felt incomplete.
It was, yeah, it was all over the place. It was definitely the editing. It was weird. That's why I'm not talking about it scene for scene. Because they were all over the place with this. But hi Lexi Ling, thank you for being here. Hey Keywan, thank you for being here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get Riley out the way since I mentioned her. So, Riley is putting together a girls' night for the ladies. And also, she is inviting Shy because it is his birthday and she wants to go ahead and celebrate it. And then she's also, in turn, inviting Brooks as well to ladies' night. But ladies' night is here. And she also has Kayla, Todd's daughter, her stepsister, or real sister, because she claimed her as her sister. So, her real sister. And everyone's vibing, everyone's chilling out, being cool and everything. Once Georgia and Ava get there, it starts to disperse into little cliques. So Amira goes up to Georgia and she says, I want to talk to you. Well, meanwhile, while Rowan is there. So Rowan kind of says she's going to go off into the bowling because Amira just took her friend. So Riley sees the conversation happening. So she's asking Ava, hey, Ava, what's up with Amira and Georgia? So Ava is pretty much giving her a great version of what's going on in a very quick pace. But we focus in on Amira and Georgia having the conversation. And Amira says, I met up with Charlie. He pretty much said that he may have said it and that, it was probably not a serious conversation, but he was just, he may have said it. And Georgia pretty much said, he said a lot about you. He said a lot about you that I'm gonna be honest with you, Amira. It just was not something that was favorable or that I liked or supported in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was actually pretty disgusting. And once again, and I'm glad Amira caught this because I was nervous. I really was, y'all. I was nervous about Amira because I did not know which side she was. She told Georgia right away that I don't need your pity. And I don't trust the fact that you saying this to me right now, is any way deemed that you care about me. I think you're just trying to get back at Charlie. So she knows that she makes it very clear that that's what Georgia is doing, which we all are saying is because to me, Georgia, if you really had an issue with the things that Charlie said about Amira, then what you would have done was told Amira and cut Charlie off immediately if that's not something you stand for. You don't just wait until Mad Day and you and Charlie ain't cool to then say, hey, I'm going to just go ahead and just tell Amira everything Charlie's been saying behind her back because it makes you look just as bad as him. And I think that's what Georgia's not getting. I think, as I said, I think Georgia does have ill intent with doing this, but at the same time, I do think that Charlie did say the things that she said, but the things that Georgia does not want to mention on camera is basically alluding to Amira's identity, which, we all know that she is trans. So I think that there is a huge, I don't know if it's a bothersome thing. I don't know really because Amira's not really explaining it, and she doesn't have to. Let's make it very clear. Amira does not have to explain this to us. But at the same time, it's like you either need to get ahead of this or you need to confront this because I feel like she let us down with letting Charlie get away with whatever it is that he is saying. And I think that that's because she doesn't want to bring it to the cameras, but it's already been brought here because of Georgia. So you either need to cuss Georgia out or you need to say what it is. It's one of the two. But Mrs. Best, how do you feel about Amira and Georgia's conversation? Like, is it just me? Because they're just odd.
No, it was a weird conversation. I think the editing again was a little bit off, but from what I could get from it, I feel like Amira has good discernment and can see that Georgia is not lying, but she's also had this information for some time. Like, even when she was explaining it, it didn't make sense. Because you said this has been going on since the beginning of you and Charlie's friendship, but then a sentence before that, you're saying that this is stuff that is recent, but you're not dealing with him as of recent. So I'm glad that Amira figured that part out. I just want Georgia to take a bath and then rinse and then follow it up with a shower. And yeah, it's a weird conversation. I don't really feel it needs to happen. It just seems like Georgia's mad at Charlie and she's talking about him. And if I was everybody in this group, I would be looking at Georgia because the moment she has a problem with any of you guys, she's going to go and talk about y'all the same way she talked about Charlie.
Yep. 100% agree. Absolutely. Hi, Vibe. Thank you for being here. Um, Georgia is being a troublemaker. She is. And I think she's doing it in the most grimiest way someone can do it. Because to bring out things about Amira, her identity and her boyfriend sexuality, I kind of feel like was below the belt to get back at Charlie. That's kind of really silly to do. That's a very silly thing to do. But we have a moment between Georgia and Riley because remember the last time these two were in the same place with each other, glass was almost thrown, a lot of energy was, odd because of alcohol. So they're trying to take baby steps, even though Riley is obviously very awkward around Georgia. And she's doing the very teeth grin, Mama Joyce face that, we all know from Real Housewives of Atlanta, because that's how Mama Joyce would look at somebody when she don't like somebody. So Riley's doing that exact same face, and it was hilarious. Let me see. What else? Is there anything else that happened in this scene? Let me see. Well, let me look through my notes, y'all, because as I said, this shit was boring. So Amira is upset, and she does end up leaving, and she tells the other ladies that, she will be, seeing them all in Las Vegas because it's going to be BravoCon, and they all will be making as a full cast their very first appearance, with the exception of Liam and Rowan because they just got here. But they will be making their very first appearance at BravoCon. We saw Ariana have a commercial, the commercial she did with Meredith. So congratulations to the Next Gen cast for booking BravoCon. That's awesome. What you saying, Lexington? Georgia doesn't seem to have a problem embarrassing her friends about anything. I just think that at their expense, she doesn't. And I think that that's where I have an issue with Georgia.
Thing she does is self-centered. I noticed that Georgia makes choices that
Riding on the motorcycle, and Liam takes her ice skating and shows her a part of his world. And Ariana does, think he's cute, likes him. He's actually a really likable guy. So I don't think she could do any wrong with him. It was really cool. It was a really cute little scene. I do think that as far as chemistry goes, I don't quite see it yet. But I think as time progresses, I think that, we'll see it more. I just think that there's just a lot of initial attraction. But I don't see like the carry on conversations. And I don't think there'll be anything more than just friends. I really don't see it. But it was a cute little scene. Mrs. Best, anything you want to add to Liam and Ariana's date?
cute scene, but unfortunately, we can't waste too much time on them because in real time she's with Hudson.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But it's cute. I still like Ariana. I'm glad that she's living her life like it's freaking golden.
Yes, absolutely. So the next thing we have is Charlie. Charlie is, talking with his mom. Remember, his mom is European, so she lives in London and then sometimes also in France. So she's talking to Charlie about, where he is with the group, and he said that, he's cordial with just about everybody. He said that, he talks about Ava. He said Ava and her boyfriend broke up, and the reason why they were not friends was because her boyfriend was uncomfortable with some of the comments that Charlie would make about Ava, about wanting to sleep with her and all of these things. And, that was weird. And then, he also mentions, Georgia, and his issue with Georgia is that he wants to open up a club with her ex-boyfriend. And, Georgia has an issue with that about them being friends, but he really likes the guy and wants to go into do the business. So he said Georgia just gonna have to take a back seat. And he says pretty much for everybody else, there was this drama with the mirror, but they went out to dinner and made it cool. And the mom was like, yeah, you might want to just, for this situation, try to make good with everybody, try to make the best out of the situation. Pretty much what mama is saying, get out my pockets. You got to make the show work so you can get your money, because ain't nobody going to be taking care of you. That's what I got from the conversation, Mrs. Best. What did you get from that conversation?
Essentially the same thing. Please excuse my background. My husband is playing a beta of a new video game, so you may hear yelling and shooting and various things. My apologies. I'm gonna stay here.
No problem. Hey, Courtney, thank you for being here. I don't see you on my lives often, cousin, but I'm glad that you made it in here. Let's see. Ariana is having fun. She's definitely having fun, but I do think she is pulling it back some. I don't think she's letting him all the way in. And that's why I can't see any chemistry. But like Mrs. Best said, her and Hudson are back together in today's time. So, what can we do with that little scene when we know that in the real life, it ain't happening? So, um, let's see what else happened. I guess we can move on to the Vegas trip. So it is BravoCon. They are all going to Vegas. They all are on separate flights because at this time, this was right around the government shutdown period. So flights were a little crazy. I don't know if y'all remember those times, but flights were crazy. Like flights were getting canceled. And then after a while, airlines started closing down. We lost one airlines, and it was a crazy time. It really was. So how it worked is that the only two people that connected that we saw had a flight were Shy and Gia. And y'all remember Gia is not seeing it for Shy at all, not even the least bit. She does not like him. So she is, bad backing a lot. So as everyone's getting there, they, are about to go have dinner. And as everyone checks into their room, Liam, because remember, he's new to the cast, so he wasn't invited to BravoCon. But Liam has sent Ariana a full case of Pellegrino water and some chocolates with this nice bouquet of roses. And Ariana's like, wow, this is like my kind of man. Like, this is what I want. And then she broke the fourth wall because the little producer was just standing there talking about, she goes, did he really do this or did y'all set this up? And she said, we did not do this. He did it. And I'm just like, okay, so let me make sure I understand this Bravo in that call center, because this is where I call y'all out in my video. Bravo in that call center. Um, why are we editing and breaking the fourth wall and mentioning we are on a show as heavy as we doing in this episode? There were several times where we are mentioning the show, we are seeing production, and we are having edits of social media to known demand. Why is the show doing this? Are y'all, and I get this is next generation and we have to follow suit with what everybody is doing. But I'm looking at it like this. We don't have to do it the entire time. Like if we do it a minute here, a minute there. But I'm just like, why do we have to continue to do this? This is crazy. This is what takes away from the show being interesting, because we have spending too much time on these clickbait, Instagram, X, and other social media platforms. So let's do less of that next season. I know the season's already edited and done. Next season, let's do less of this, Bravo, and that call center. I know y'all watch me, so let's not do that. So everyone meets up for dinner. And as everyone's, sitting at the table, Amira looks pissed. Like Amira from jump looked like she didn't want to be there. She was angry. And to stab and to take the knife just a little bit deeper, Charlie in Georgia have a casual conversation. He asked her what was her boyfriend's name because he met him at the event. And she goes, "Oh, his name is Prez, and he's going to be running for office pretty soon. Probably not this election, but the next election." And he goes, "Well, that's cool and everything. Yeah, I really like him, Charlie, and everything." And I'm looking at them too, like, mainly I was looking at Amir and everybody else that was clocking the shit. It was like, now y'all got to feel stupid, because it's clear. And this is what I'm going to say about Georgia. She doesn't have a problem with Charlie at all. She doesn't have a problem with Charlie at all. She's mad because Charlie won't cut that X out, but that's not really a big deal to her. She just doesn't want to see that X if they just so happen to go out to have drinks or to dinner or anything. She's mad because these particular boundaries are not being met. It's not. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, Georgia, I see what type of time you on. Because you really don't have no issue with Charlie other than that. And to me, once again, that ain't really an issue. That's if it really is business. Now, if they are being friends, yes, it's fucked up. But if they're really going into business together and Omar, slinging out the money, Charlie is an opportunist, and that's something you knew prior to being his friend. So I don't understand what the issue is or why you have a problem with him. But looking at this lets me know you really ain't got no issue with Charlie. Because if I don't fuck with you, I don't see you. That's how I am. And maybe she got to get that grown to see that. But when I don't listen, when I don't fuck with you, I don't see you. Someone could tell me you in the room now, I would go, "Oh, really? Good for them." We could be sitting, you could be sitting next to me, I still wouldn't see you. That's how I am. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Georgia and Charlie's initial interaction and the table clocking it?
Same way. I don't like you if I don't mess with you. You just don't exist in my world at all. But I don't think it's youngness. I feel like Georgia just wants to be a victim. She doing everything she can to make this man look crazy. Some people ignore you, others seek vengeance. Obviously, Georgia is on a mission to take down Charlie.
Oh,
And it makes
absolutely.
me like take her less seriously.
Hmm. Absolutely. It not only take her less serious, but it makes you wonder what really is the issues in the group and why is nobody looking at Georgia. Everybody's looking at Charlie when they really need to be looking at her, because I feel like she's the root of all of this. And nobody is clocking it because she knows how to victimize herself at this man's expense. And y'all, I'm surprised. I mean, I think they're clocking it, but they don't know what to call it yet. But I see it very clear. And she is calculated. She's trying to ice this man out and get him out of his own experience. Because I feel like if she does get him out, it would be all like, see, Charlie wasn't that powerful. He said he got me on the show, but I got him off the show. What does that say about him? I think that's her plan. I really do. I think that's her plan. And if that is, it's not going to blow over how you think it is, because many people have done this, Georgia. And then when they got the person off the show, guess what happened their last season on the show? They got the boot too. So I would be cautious about doing that if I was you, Georgia. You might not want to do that. Yes. Hey, hey, hey. Ava mom is not. I'm not even finna talk about that because to me, I feel like Ava was bullshitting for the show. I really do, but
If Ava needs help, she has it.
yes, she's fine, absolutely fine. So as the tides of Georgia and Charlie are going, everybody is like very confused about why they're doing this and why they're acting like they're cool. And Charlie's like, yeah, I didn't have a problem with Georgia. Georgia was, in my house. I brought her onto the show, and everybody laughs because Charlie keeps saying that. But I don't know why y'all laughing because it looks to be true. She didn't deny it. So it looks to be true. So I don't know why everybody keeps laughing. And she said, no, Charlie, you lie and you manipulate. And then you know what you did? You sat up there and let my ex bring all my boxes without my consent to your house and everything. I did not like that. I said, Georgia, what you not about to do? And see, and I'm clocking this. You're not finna make Charlie the scapegoat to why that man threw your shit out. You better be glad you had a person that allowed your shit to even come to their house and it didn't end up on the fucking street. So for you to get mad at Charlie because he took the boxes that this man dropped off at his house, inside of his house, to procure your stuff while you was trapped somewhere else in the fucking other country, you have lost your complete and utter mind. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. That shit pissed me off because I'm like, this man had the liberty to take your boxes of your shit while you were gone and put it in his house where it was safe. And then when you got back, he let you in his house to sleep on his couch. The fuck? And you mad about that shit? Like, y'all, I was flabbergasted. I was like, wow, that's something to be mad at? Okay, Georgia. Okay, Georgia. Where should her stuff have to go? Georgia, that's what I'm saying. I was like, out of all the shit you could have been mad about, you got mad at that? And if you really are mad at that, you mad at the wrong person. You should have been mad at Omar. Why are you mad at Charlie then? I would be thanking Charlie for not letting my shit just go out and just be up amongst New York, especially if some shit is personal. So that's crazy. I'm sorry. I didn't see where Georgia was going with that. So the ladies then go to the restroom. It was Riley, I believe, Ariana, and Georgia. And Charlie's looking at the rest of the crew like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to say. And Amira said, you need to cut it off. You need to stop being her friend because clearly she don't give a fuck and she's going to throw you under the bus every chance that she get. So you need to tell her, look, I don't want to be your friend no more. Let's dead it. Keep my name out your mouth. If I see you, let's be cordial. Now, Amira is right. I'm not going to say she's wrong. She's right. It just seems like you have something else you want to say that you're not saying. And once again, I get it. She's in a confliction, y'all. She cannot verbally say what's bothering her because she doesn't want to put her personal business on this national television. And what I mean by her personal business, her identity. She does not want to put that out here to, I don't know, necessarily be judged by it or however she may feel. There may be some trauma with it. I don't know. And I would definitely want to respect where this is going for her. I really do. Because I get it could be sensitive. But the problem is, once again, you're not cussing out the lady who brought it to national TV, and you ain't cussing out the motherfucker who made a joke at it at your expense. So we can't really feel sorry for you when you're not taking probable action. I mean, once again, I get she didn't go into dire detail, but you knew what she was talking about, and you should have told her, look, we dead in this. We ain't talking about it. We done. And then cuss Charlie out. So for her to sit there and have this attitude, it was kind of like I couldn't really take what she was giving him. I couldn't. Yeah, I wanted to, but I couldn't. So after it's all said and done, they all get back to the table after we had this hilarious scene of Georgia washing her hands. And I said, that's a fucking shame. That's a fucking shame that we actually had to put the cameras in the bathrooms to see this lady wash her hands. And we didn't even see it. She just had soap on her hands and went like this and said, should I use water now? Like being funny. And it's like, ugh, oh, habits die hard. Oh, I have just die hard, y'all. That's just nasty. So when Georgia gets back to the table, Charlie says, "Hey, look, Georgia, like, listen, I'm not trying to have no animosity towards you. I'm not trying to be, friends with you either. Can we just be cool and be cordial?" And she goes, "Yeah, I have no problem being cordial with you." He goes, "Okay, well, when I see you, can I give you a hug or something?" She goes, "No, you don't have to hug me. Say hello. We can make eye contact, and that could be it. Plain and simple." And I'm just like, this is so fucking trivial and stupid. Like, this really is. Ugh. Mrs. Best. So let me ask you a couple of questions. The first question is, do you feel that Amira should have went into, kind of a mode of defending herself against Georgia and Charlie and then putting her personal business out there?
What did they put out about her business that was so personal? That's that's the part I didn't fully get when I was watching it, but I don't think she's outside of her right to speak up because they are using her as a pawn in their own stupid beef.
Yep.
Well, more so Georgia. I think it's even unfair to put that on Charlie. This all just comes back to Georgia, but Amira has a right to defend herself and confront the stuff since it has been brought to her. I just think she's handling it weird, but you know, like if someone's alleged to be talking about my sexuality, I wouldn't be cool with Georgia. And I would
Yeah.
have to talk to other people outside of Charlie to make sure that he hasn't made statements like that outside of me. But I don't know. The way she's handling it is odd for me.
It is. It's
Like
very
she
odd. Yeah.
directed all her bad energy to Georgia. Because Georgia likes to do shit, and then for whatever reason, when people confront her on it, she acts as if she doesn't understand. She did this season one with Riley.
Hmm.
So I feel like she's doing the same thing now, except nobody's confronting it. So maybe that's why we're bored. Because last season they was all coming at Riley. This season they not really.
They're not coming at anything. They're just trying to ice Charlie out. And as I told y'all, I get it. Charlie is not somebody I would be friends with that I feel like is trustworthy. But at the end of the day, this season so far, Charlie hasn't really done anything. Like, he hasn't done anything. One, y'all could say, yeah, well, he said that about Amira. We didn't see him say that. I don't trust Georgia. So, could I believe he said it? Yeah. Anybody's capable of anything. But at the same time, I did not see it. He didn't say it on camera. So basically, it's his word against Georgia. And Georgia was not saying it in a way to where it was comforting Amira. Actually, she was saying it as like a, okay, I can get you on my side, what Amira was saying. Because it was to say it to get Amira on her side of the fence to ice out Charlie. So once again, it's this drama is stupid. It really is stupid. And Georgia, we all seeing what you're doing, but I'm gonna tell you, karma comes around. I don't like Charlie, but at the same time, Charlie has not done anything this season. Y'all let me know one thing Charlie has done this season that causes the rest of the group to ice him out like they're doing. And I'm not saying go back to season one, because season one was justifiable. He should have been fired, but he wasn't. They brought him back. So I had to give him a second chance to say, wait, I give the others, I give everybody in the new season a clean slate. When they fuck up is when I throw them back in there. So yeah, I just want to know, what did Charlie do? So um where should her stuff have gone? Yes, she didn't have her own. She didn't. Georgia was broke and everyone knew it. So it was like she went right to Charlie, the
Which still
person.
makes it even worse. Like somebody give me a place to stay when I have nothing. Even if we fall out, I'ma just quietly fall out. I'm not gonna go and drag your name through the mud on national television and try and take
Exactly.
away all of your friends. Like that's doing a bit much just because someone may or may not have done business with your ex. You wouldn't have cared if you was still with your ex. So why throw the fit now? It's stupid. She acted like she was engaged to be married.
Right, exactly. Georgia is nasty. Hashtag Hansgate got me questioning everything. Wash your hands, ma'am. Who agrees? We all agree. I feel like Georgia need to wash more than her hands. Georgia need to wash her hands. She need to wash her face. She need to wash that hair. She need to wash her skin. She need to wash her feet. She need to wash everything. I don't want to see not a crevice untouched. Georgia need to wash it all. So instead of this, hashtag Georgia need to wash it all. Just saying. I feel like Georgia is threatened to reveal something Amir doesn't want to share. Oh, it's threatening. I got you. I feel like Georgia is threatening to reveal something that Amir doesn't want to share. That's obvious. That's obvious. And the thing about it is, if Georgia were doing it for the right reasons, I may not be this harsh on her. But it's not for the right reasons. Georgia is doing this, one, to embarrass Amira, because regardless of how that's going to come out, that's going to be embarrassing for her. And then two, you're not doing it with the intention because of a friend that you have that feels this way and you don't feel that it's right. Because if you didn't feel it was right, you would have told her right when you heard it, right when you met her. If you felt like this is something that is bothering you to where you don't feel comfortable, you are disgusted by it, you are repulsed by it, you would have said something right when you met the lady. Not however many years later, where it doesn't, I mean, it matters. Obviously, it does matter. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter now because you sat with him, lived with them, talked with them, everything else with him. It was fine then, but why is it not fine today? That's if Georgia can answer that, then I wouldn't. I'll have no more spills on Georgia. But I know she can't answer that. I know she can't answer that. So that's why I feel like, you know what? It's a lost cause. I feel okay with this one. White women syndrome, acting obtuse when confronted with an issue. I'm trying to tell you, Charlie been chill to see. He has. Like Charlie really ain't been doing nothing. Like he hasn't. Like until someone can tell me what he did, you know. Never burn a bridge you were driving on. I know that's right, Courtney. I know you better tell the truth. Shame the devil. But it's still Shy's birthday. Shy had a birthday all week because everyone's still saying happy birthday to him. I don't know what Shy's actual birthday is, but I felt like we were saying happy birthday to Shy at damn near every scene. But they got him, a candle situation with some cookies and little cakes and shit, and they said happy birthday. It looks like the next episode is going to be crazy, so I cannot wait to see what happens. Charlie just gets his face. Not Charlie just gets his face. But that was it. Next Gen. It was a simple episode. There wasn't much to it. I don't know if I'm keeping this show next season. We will see. I can't wait to the reunion because I'm hearing the reunion is about to be crazy. Georgia is a mad day ho. She is. Mrs. Betts, anything else before we squander out of here?
Like the video on your way out.
Yes, everybody, like the video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment. Did you see Amari? I did see Amari. Yes, I did see Amari. Yes, I saw Kayla. I saw Amari. They didn't really, yeah, I did. They didn't really give her too much. And at first, I didn't see her the first time I watched this. I saw this the second time. I was like, oh shit, okay, so they really is close. I'm hearing they went to high school with each other. Riley and Amari. I heard they went to high school with each other, so that's cool that they still have a relationship. And I know that Amari lives in New Jersey, so that's nothing for her to come up to New York and party with her. So that's cool. I did see her though. I didn't see the wife, but I did see her. Yeah. So, but that was it, y'all. Once again, thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys on my channel this weekend. We will be on Mrs. Best's channel here in a couple of days to go over. Oh, we don't have Love After Lockup anymore. But we had, thank you, Courtney. Uh, Married at First Sight.
On Saturday and put a ring on it.
And put a ring on it, Cheat Lab, y'all. We're doing that show as well. That show was a lot of fun to recap. I had a good job or good time watching it. So you guys be on the lookout for that. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.